What's up, everybody? Not only are we back, but the Kansas City Chiefs are back in the Super Bowl. Let's fucking go. I'm Adam Fricks, here with Justin Olsen. What's up, brother? It's a big day.
What's going on? It's a good day to be a Chiefs fan.
Yes, sir. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We've waited all goddamn week for this. It's been the longest week of our life. It's also going to be the longest day of our life because we still got another 5 hours to go before kickoff is happening. What are you looking forward to most this game? Like, what are you just like the matchup, or like what is it? Is it a game to where you feel confident as far as other Super Bowls? Are you more confident in this Super Bowl than you have been in others?
Part of like our defensive side, I feel real confident, but our offensive side, that's kind of where I'm leery. But at the same time, like the magic we're going to see from Mahomes is what really gets me going about this game. Because you know he ain't going to just lay over and be like, all right.
Well, that's the thing. We've been having discussions shit for weeks now. It's just kind of like how our team's been set up. Dude, arguably we're the best defense in the league. And we've been having these conversations. And I know that the Ravens have been great all year, but arguably we've been right there. If the fucking Ravens are top, we're either right with them or fucking slightly underneath them. But now you take that and then you add the quarterback that we have. And a lot of times when people have been asking me about the game, I'm like, we have Pat Mahomes and they don't. And I know that sounds like something like a very vague statement, man. But within his 6 years of starting as the quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs, that statement couldn't ring more truer for anybody other than, I would say, Tom Brady. You get him in these situations. We got Pat Mahomes. They don't. We have Andy Reid. They don't. We're not the most disciplined team, but I think we're a team that within those clutch moments, we're right there. Like it's hard for especially over the last month. We haven't been that team who gets the holding penalty, the defensive pass interference. We've been coming in clutch in the right moments, and that's the epitome of what I think this particular team for this year is.
No, for sure. And the thing that gets me most excited is like the three things that win Super Bowls. I think we got the edge on: defense, coach, and quarterback.
Exactly.
Three things that matter the most.
Dude, and not only that, and I know a lot of people have been saying this since Christmas time, the way that the Chiefs have kind of finally accepted kind of what the team we are for this year. And just like, okay, let's dive into that. Let's be that team for this year instead of I know, dude, I was watching 2018 highlights last night. Craziest fucking shit ever, the way that we played, and the fact that Pat has switched his game up to and I know Purdy, Jake says, I want to, guys, what you think about Brock Purdy in this game? I know Brock Purdy has been labeled a game manager, but I think at a core, that's where you want to start your base with your quarterback. What's crazy is we've kind of went the opposite way with Pat. Is he came out fucking gunslinging, and he's worked his way into being just as a good game manager as he is a gunslinger.
I don't even know if I would call it a game manager, though. What he does is he just does whatever is necessary.
That's game manager. No, I agree. No, I agree. I think what it is that he's learned to take sacks. He's learned to say fuck it, like this set of downs, like fuck it, we'll pump the ball, we'll put ourselves in a good situation. Where I think a lot of times before it was, we got to make a play. I know I can make that play. Let's make this play. Now we're in a situation where he trusts in his defense. And think about it. He probably has fucking a little PTSD from the first few years he was in the league, to where like everything he has to make the play, because if not, they're going to be down by 2 scores.
No, for sure. And I think that's what's going to make this game so good, is that these quarterbacks know that they can lean on their defense. And so at the same time of maybe not trying to fit it in such tight windows, we're going to see more of that game managing quarterback
Right.
from these guys. But at the same time, if either defense gives that little crevice, the other quarterback's going to take advantage of it. So
No,
that's
for sure.
why I can see this game being a freaking shootout or a very defensive game. I could see it going either way, and that's what's so crazy about it.
I will put like the percentages to that statement. If it's a shootout, I'm more likely to be surprised. You know what I mean? Just kind of how both teams are set up. If it is a shootout, it's hard for me to like kind of wrap my head around that. But we had discussion before we went on live of like if it is a shootout, I think that's in the Niners' favor because just they have more weapons. But we have Pat, they don't. So it's kind of one of those confusing things of like, man, if a shootout happens, what's that look like? Is that a blowout that it's a shootout? One team can't keep up. Like, you know what I mean? So, like, because a shootout can turn into a 44-30 game, and both offenses have played well. It's just that one or two stops that one of those defenses was able to put up. If you're asking for my my thought on it is that if there's a defense that's more likely to get a stop that needs one or two stops, it's going to be the Chiefs defense compared to the Niners defense. One thing that I can't remember where I heard this at. If you think about it, like if you look at the 2019 Chiefs and Niners, excuse me, but we've almost kind of flip-flopped as far as how each team looked like. Because, you know, Chiefs were the offensive team that was kind of going into it, and Niners were defensive team. Think about it. We flipped it. Now the Niners are definitely, I would say, more prolific, more efficient on offense than they are on defense. I think there's some real holes on their defense that people don't talk about.
No, for sure. And that's the thing about Mahomes is he's so good at exploiting those holes. Like, you know, at practice all week, they've been focusing on nothing but those weaknesses on their defense. And with Pat, he's able to exploit those. With Purdy, he can exploit it, but I think with Spags, he is more he's got so much experience that at the same time as knowing his own flaws, that he can kind of, you know, make Purdy try to take advantage in a spot where he thinks there's going to be that advantage. But at the same time, Spags is going to kind of milk him into it. And that's where he's going to make mistakes.
So Jake asked, I want to know what you guys think about Brock Purdy in this game. And I don't really want to know, like, not in this game in particular, like, what's your thoughts on Brock Purdy overall as a quarterback? Because he kind of gets the shit into the stick for being a guy who's Mr. Irrelevant, and people like to downplay kind of really his accomplishments that he has had within his first 2 years as a quarterback. I don't know where he had got the stigma to kind of be hated on to where like, he ain't shit. It's like one of those things. If any other quarterback, I don't know why. Maybe it's because they went into the Niners organization and they went to the Super Bowl with Garoppolo, and people just kind of have this feeling it's more of the Niners than it is the quarterback. Kind of, what's your thoughts on Brock Purdy?
Well, it is. I mean, let's be honest. You put any other quarterback on that team, it's going to be unbeatable. You put Pat Mahomes on the 49ers, he ain't fucking losing.
Okay, I agree, but I don't like the idea of any other quarterback, bro. Like, Brock put up MVP type of play this year. You know what I mean? As far as efficiency wise, he was definitely within the consideration. But I still don't think, even with that particular year, that even puts him in the top 10 of quarterbacks. You know what I mean?
Yeah. See, but the problem with Purdy is that he can have those games where, like that Baltimore game, what did he throw? Like 4 interceptions in that game? Like
the one where they got killed.
Yeah, he's either hit or miss. Like that's the problem with Purdy, and that's why he gets so much hate. He either does really good at game managing or he ruins the game. It's either one or the other.
That's a valid point. I was watching, or I seen the stats to where the Niners lose 3-4 games this year, something like that. 3 games.
Yeah. So I think they were 12-5, but yeah.
Were they 12? No, they were the 1 seed. They had to be better than 12-5.
You're right.
They was either 13-4 or 15 or 13-4. So 13 or 14-3, one of the two. I believe they lost 4. But within those games that they lost, man, I think his touchdown to interception ratio was 2 touchdowns to 9 interceptions. So it's definitely one of those things where if they aren't playing, if we can knock them off of playing like the 49ers game and Brock feels like, oh, I have to step up and do something. Statistically, over the season, he has not been well. What scares me is the last couple weeks, they've both been down. You know, he's been down and not necessarily played well at all in either first half of both the Packers or the Lions game. But he's kind of shown a little bit, man. If he's down, like he's shown something definitely last week to where he needed to play and he fucking made it. So it's one of those things is does he revert back to the norm? Because let's be honest, the Niners had an easier fucking road to the Super Bowl.
Oh, for sure.
Also, if you look into the things of like a grand, you know, you take a whole picture into the things of like what we saw the NFL as we was coming into this year, it was how the fucking AFC was a gauntlet. You know what I mean? And it absolutely was. That's absolutely what it turned into. Whoever made the road through the Super Bowl for the AFC, they fucking earned it because they're going to play some of the top tier teams. Now, if you go in and saying you're going to play the Packers with Jordan Love as first-year quarterback, who was great this year. Who was great. I'll give it up to you. You called that. Who was great this year. Or even the Lions. Both of those teams have extreme – I don't want to say extreme. Both of those teams were very, very flawed. So the fact that we're looking at we're trying to see both the Chiefs and the Niners in the same scope, which I don't think is actually a thing because I think the roads that we take are totally different, and the Chiefs are so battle-tested just from this year. Let's not even include all of our success from the previous years. But this year, we're so battle-tested. We beat all the good quarterbacks to where I don't think the Niners kind of had to take that same road.
Yeah, you got to think. I mean, what was the best defensive team that they've seen lately? I mean, honestly.
Right.
The Rams in the last week, and they didn't even win. They lost that game. It's like they really haven't. I mean, the Ravens game that they got their ass kicked was the best defensive team that they've seen. Right. And they did lose 5 games this year.
Was it 5?
Yeah. They lost to the Rams, Ravens, and then they lost 3 games in a row to Bengals, Vikings, and Browns.
That's true. Okay, yep.
And think about that. Browns, good defense. Bengals, I mean, they weren't known for their defense, but we know personally they got a good defense.
Right. They got skilled players over there.
And then what was the other Vikings?
The Rams one I don't count because they said all their guys. Like they was already clinched.
I get that. But think about it. 4 out of 5 of those, or 3 out of 5 of those teams were AFC teams, and all 3 of those teams had good defense. So I mean, their weakness is playing against a team with a good defense, and that's exactly what we have. We have the best defense in the NFL, and I mean, let's call it what it is. He hasn't played a good defense in 6 weeks, so him going from this easy road where at the same time it might have been tough for him, but it's about to get way tougher because he ain't seen a defense like ours.
Nah, that's a great fucking point. That's a great point. He hasn't done well against those defenses either. And if you think about it, the Niners' offense has struggled half of, 4 out of the 8 quarters. The first half, the offense has struggled against defenses of those caliber. Like, the Detroit was very, opportunistic of a defensive team. Really, if you look at the Packers for the full season, they've been a goddamn catastrophe on defense. A lot of Packers fans are like, get rid of the D coordinator. This dude is shit. So it's definitely one of those things where it played out well for the Niners to play those particular teams, and that those teams are the ones that they were playing up against in the divisional and the conference championship games. So, you know me. I've been hammering home, guys. I've been hammering home. I took the Chiefs. Chiefs plus 6.5 because I think that we win by I keep saying 10, but I'm going to hedge my bet and not fucking make it 9.5. But I am hammering that Chiefs plus 6.5. Like, I think it's one of those things. Like, I don't think they're ready for a team that's built like the way that we are.
But it depends on our coaching. It's going to
agree.
come down to Andy Reid. Andy Reid, you're going to keep your foot on their throat and keep trying to score, or are you going to give up like you did against Baltimore and say, look, our defense is good enough. They're not going to be able to catch up to us if we just manage this clock. We cannot do that against them. We have to keep our foot on their throats, and we got to keep playing Chiefs football.
See, that's the thing. Like, that's like the problem I have is with that. Granted, I don't know shit fuck, but dude, we do it in the fucking 10 minutes ago in the third quarter. You know what I mean? Like, why we like I get kind of managing the game a little bit. I fucking definitely get it, but sometimes we get too conservative within that time. Just to where it's like, bro, we still I don't think that you should be like kind of letting the gas off until you know the other team's waving the fucking white flag. That's the only time. Once you both and that other coaching staff agree, hey, let's not run the score up no more. That's when you turn the gas off. Last week it was just very conservative, don't turn the ball over type of play, which could have got real close to like fucking us because they kept kind of driving and driving. They definitely was getting down in between the 20s. So we have to go into this game, step on their fucking throat. Don't even let them feel like a chance of they're alive. Just random question popped up in my head. Started the game. You win kickoff. You receiving, or are you kicking off and taking it second half?
Deferring all day long.
No, I agree. It's definitely one of those things you got to defer every single time.
No matter what, if we get ball first or not, we're going to start strong. We always score on our first drive, it seems like, no matter what. We're going to get a strong start. So if we could go out there and play defense that first drive, and then no matter what happens, if we can hold them to not scoring and then we score, we got the lead right off the bat after 2 drives and we get ball at half. That's just already set up for success, and all we got to do is keep playing Chiefs football.
No, that's definitely the thing, man. I don't know why it works out this way. Whoever seems like they defer, they end up with the ball in the first half and they start the second half. So it's definitely, I know it's not always that way, but man, since Andy's been here, we've kind of done that, and like the proof is in the pudding. Just like always defer. That like that. Those you pretty much steal 2 possessions like back to back. Being able to do that. Granted, your team has to play well and set you up for that. But in the time that Andy Reid has been here, that deferring dude has worked out so many times for us to where we get a field goal, 30 seconds left, a minute left, and then boom, we get the ball, and then before you know it's a fucking 10-point swing.
Yeah, we definitely just got to take advantage of any big opportunities, any big plays we can get, sacks, interceptions. We got to hold on and take advantage of every big play opportunity. That's going to be the big difference in this game.
Do you think that we set a guy over to Trent Williams' side and we kind of like, we know that's a loss, so we set one of our, maybe a Mike Dana over there, you know what I mean? Or like, who do we set over there? Like, and then you kind of rotate the other guys to kind of play the center, right guard, right tackle. Like what's kind of your opinion? Like, how do we handle Trent Williams in their offense?
I mean, they know Trent Williams is a dog, and
he's a dog.
I could see Andy putting Chris over there and be like, Chris, go wear his ass out.
All day long.
At the same time, I could see him, like you said, just kind of throwing, hey, whoever's tired, go line up with Trent.
Right.
Act like you're going to blitz and then just kind of quarterback spy. Who knows? The more time or the more we can waste his energy on not actually having to defend a defender, then the better it is. I don't know. I'm sure Spags are going to have something. I'm sure they're going to be doing a whole bunch of like looping in from, behind blockers and trying to hit seams. They're going to have a crazy ass game plan for sure.
kind of because I was kind of looking up stuff last night because I knew we was going to be doing this. Purdy's number one against the blitz this year. All statistical categories, number one against the blitz. And we will blitz the shit out of you if we need to. There's a lot of times where Spags thinks we can get there with 4, so we'll do that. Is that a thing? Or kind of knowing that Purdy's number one against the blitz, do you still think that's something that we need to kind of keep pushing, kind of keep that pressure on him?
100%.
But then you're leaving these guys on the backside. Your Ayuks, Debo's, McCaffrey.
But see, that's the thing. That right side of their line is so exposed, and we know it.
Yeah,
we're gonna sit there, and we might line up 4 on that one side, and then put 2 guys on the left side, and then whenever they hike the ball, we blitz all the guys on the right and drop back the guys on the left. Like I said, they're going to try to do a lot to get around Trent Williams and get it to where, we're getting pressure. We're definitely going to be getting pressure on them.
It's it's one of those things too that the Niners, I know they have to be cognizant about, is that I think you're going to see Kittle staying in a little bit longer to help chip or help block for whenever we do decide to kind of bring that pressure. So in my opinion, if you're going anything George Kittle today, take the fucking under. Take the under.
100%.
So
it's only he's only at 50 though, so that kind of.
I get it, and he's one of those guys who can get 30 in one play. Like his yak it's great. I just don't know if that he's actually going to have the opportunity to be able to do so, unless they have a game plan of let's get George over the middle, kind of open things up. That way, our defense will have to play a little bit different.
I mean, I could definitely see them use Kittle for a safety blanket more than anything, do a little chip and then just kind of turn around in case he needs to hit you.
Right.
So, I mean, I could see that going either way. I could see him end up with 6 catches for only 18 yards, It could go.
Definitely 6. Well, I still think he can hit the 50. So if he gets 6 catches, he's getting at least 40 for sure. So because he's going to break some catches. I don't see him making 3 yards per catch. But it's one of those things. I definitely could see him being under 25, getting 3 for 25, something like that, just because they're not going to have I don't think he's going to have the chances because he's going to line up beside the right tackle, I assume, for most of the game. That way he can chip whoever. And I think this is going to kind of limit his yardage. But like you said, I think he might be able to get the reception. What's his over under on receptions? Do you know? 4.5, 5.5, something.
I think it's 4.5.
4.5. That sounds about right. So it's one of those things that you could probably take the over on receptions and not feel super confident, but all right, I could see it. But take the under on fucking yards because I could easily see him go 6 for 40. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. And that brings up another good point, I think, is that another very important aspect of this game is going to be missed tackles. We have to wrap up and take the guy down. We can't be having guys break tackles. If guys are out there breaking tackles and turning these 5-yard catches into 15 to 20-yard catches, I think that can really hurt us.
Yeah, no, that definitely. So and that's where guys like which is her Debo, the yak. The yak is what scares me. But dude, have you seen a better Chiefs tackling team than this? As far as open field?
No, I feel like we're actually really good at that. So,
especially our corners, man. I know that there's been times where we've given up big runs. And I think that I don't want to say a lot of times, just in watching, it's been they called a better play than we did that time, and they happened to expose our defense to where they found that crease and the run. If you think about it, it's been the running back, because when's the last time, other than, I know we gave up that big play to Lamar to Zay Flowers in the end zone last week, but that was just some goofy shit, Lamar being Lamar, and just throwing the ball up there after he fucking escaped the sack 4 different times in one play.
Yeah, no,
So
we've definitely been really good about not giving up them big plays this year. I
right.
think I don't know what we're ranked, but in plays over 20 yards, I feel like we're really good at that for sure.
You know, the only one I can think of that we gave up to like what 50 yards was that the Brees Hall or James Cook? I don't remember. It was one of those games where we gave up a 50-yard touchdown, and I think it was Buffalo.
Yeah.
But even the big ones, man. So like, there's been levels to like giving up big plays, right? Like if we give up a big play, it's 20 yards, 30 yards. Teams are gonna fucking get those occasionally. And you got to kind of let like, all right, that's fine. Like, but for the most part, we're literally making the team work down the field the whole fucking way. Like, oh, if you want to score, you're gonna have to earn it. There's no just we'll beat them over the top.
Well, I think that goes back to the defense. I feel like we've been playing. I feel like we've been playing a lot of 3-3-5 or whatever it is that we're playing. But I feel like we make sure that we have that safety blanket back there just in case someone is to break someone's ankles up front and bust it loose. That we got that safety guy back there to make sure that there's someone there to help out.
Yeah, dude, we've been playing a lot of 3 safeties. And I know that's probably based on kind of the teams that we're playing. You know, last week, fucking Reed damn near playing middle linebacker for, 6, 8, 10 snaps to where, and that's so crazy. Baltimore just still didn't run it on a second down when he's playing our middle linebacker. It's one Spags, dude. It reminds me of New England. Like the comparisons, New England. Our game plan defensively is different every week.
Right.
Like this is what you do well. All right, well we'll eliminate this, and we understand we're going to give some shit up here, but that's not the team that you want to be. You know what I mean? So like, if Buffalo would have kept running, or if they would have stuck to the run, they would have had a better chance. And we don't even know with Baltimore because they didn't even fucking try.
So, how do you think we go about stopping McCaffrey?
See, that's the tough one, man. I've been doing a little bit of research. Most of it, he's running fucking wide receiver routes from the backfield, bro. Like that one's tough. I think it's a Bolton thing. As much as scary as that is, bro, Spags has trust in Bolton. Like he was out there, and I know he gave up the touchdown to Zay Flowers, but I felt like he was right there. Just Lamar put it on Zay for the touchdown. He's willing to send fucking Bolton out with a receiver, like just for if he's scheming something up. I think it's going to be a multitude of different people. I think you're going to it's going to be a lot of just kind of us. I don't want to say tricking. I'm trying to think of a better word, but essentially like kind of tricking them. Hey, this is what we think we're doing. They think this guy, they might think Bolton's is on fucking McCaffrey, but it ends up being Tranquil. You know what I mean? We're so versatile in that linebacker position. Dude, Chanel's stepped up so much this year. Going into the season, if he was like, he's going to be a great contributor, I'm like, special team, something up like that. Dude, he is like, he has stepped up to be a starting caliber player in the NFL. So it's just like, we're so deep at linebacker. Hopefully Gay plays today. And have you heard anything on Gay?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, me neither. So hopefully Gay plays today to kind of keep up with that versatility, because that's that guy right there. If he can play today and he's good to go and close to 85-90% of his speed, you have a couple linebackers that we can pick and choose and kind of confuse them on what guy's going to be covering McCaffrey.
So do we put a spot like someone to run with McCaffrey at all times on him?
Yeah. So I'd like fuck a quarterback spy.
All right.
Like if Brock has to go down there and run fucking 30, 40 yards every drive, you make them do that. You're going to give that, not actually just like give it open and doing it, but if that's the one weakness in the game plan that we're doing is to let Brock scramble, let that guy scramble. if he has to get 60, 70 yards for them to win, they fucking deserve it. Because that's the one thing I'm willing to. If you look at the last couple weeks with the Chiefs, it's like we're going to give you one thing, but we're taking away this other thing. And I know Brock has been scrambling his ass off and has been super effective in big moments of the game, but I'm willing to let that happen. I'm willing to let him, if he's the one running the ball, the plays broke down. And they haven't been consistent enough to run their particular game plan if he's running the ball. I know last week he was pretty scary and he had clutch runs, but I'm willing to take that. I'm willing to take that as a chance, as for the Kansas City Chiefs defense.
No, for sure. I feel like if you're going to give up a big play or a scramble out of the backfield, McCaffrey, he could turn a 10-yard run into a 90-yard run. Brock Purdy, he's going to slide. So, I mean, you might as well, if you're going to give up anybody running the ball, definitely let it be Brock Purdy instead of McCaffrey.
Anybody else on the team? Yeah, McCaffrey, Debo, any of them. Like, literally any of them. So, man, it's just the way we match up and kind of our flaws versus their flaws. It's one of those things where, like, with coaching, it's so, for me, it's so interesting to see, like, what type of game plan each team goes against or goes for against the particular team that they're playing. Just kind of how the Chiefs. I mean, we haven't even discussed how the Chiefs, what's your offensive game plan versus a 49ers defense?
Yeah, I'm playing smash mouth football. I'm trying to run Pacheco down their throats. And then, of course, I'm going to get Rice and Kelsey involved in the game too, right, for sure. Like, that's one bet that I definitely smashed was Kelsey and Rice getting a reception. And I think FanDuel had like a plus 100 for Kelsey and Rice having at least one reception in the first quarter. I was like, okay, yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
so I think that's going to be huge for sure. But I'm definitely going to try to ride Pacheco as long as possible. I'm going to try to make them switch up their defense to adjust to Pacheco, and as soon as they do that, that's whenever that play action Kelsey cross the middle ball comes in.
Yeah, no, that's definitely it. So I'm just gonna look at a little bit of game props here. Like they got the Chiefs over under first downs at 19.5, which feels low.
Yeah, definitely. 10 yards.
So it's -1. This is on DraftKings, -155. Oh, sorry. Fuck, I'm an idiot. The over is at 19.5 at -155. I read it backwards. The under is at 9 and my bad. Yeah, it's that at 19.5.
I'll still take the over on that for sure.
Yeah, for sure. That's something that if you're looking into a parlay, that'd be something to bang because we're easily a 25 first down team. I mean, obviously there's anomalies in there. What's crazy is they have the Niners at 20.5. So they got their offenses a little bit better, moving a little bit better. Yeah. Will there be a quarterback sneak for a first down? I would say no in this game. But yes is a plus 330. So there's a lot of hold on. The biggest do you have any like crazy prop bets that you're like every year I bang this home? Because with me, it's always the touchback thing. It's the very first game or very first kickoff. I always pick no touchback.
No touchback?
No touchback.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like the way kickers are nowadays, they blast out of the back of the end zone every time.
Dude, no, so you're right. So my thought process on this is like skewed a little bit just because kickers have got so fucking good and powerful that it's like fuck it doesn't matter because they use a pretty much like a show ball. It's the first kickoff ball, boom, get it. Let's put that shit in Canton. We'll never touch that ball again. So it's a ball that's not like really broken in that well. It's not like a true kicker's. It is a kicker's ball, but the ball's a little bit different. If you listen to mostly Pat McAfee, he's been saying this shit since the show's been on. that the ball is harder to kind of create that distance, but these kickers are so good, they kick it so hard that like last year ended up being a touchback, and that was a prop that I lost. But I was like, motherfucker. But it's usually been a true and consistent bet that I've been able to make. But kickers have gotten so good. And especially if Butker's kicking off, bro, touchback. You know what I mean?
That's what I was gonna say. Like, it depends. If the Chiefs are kicking it off, 100% touchback. If the 49ers are kicking it off with the rookie kicker, I could see that maybe not being a touchback.
Right. So it might be one of those things where you got your fucking phone open right before it, and you just kind of bang that home. Now, I imagine it's not a great payout, but it's just something that might win you a couple ducats.
What about the coin toss? You ever bet on the coin toss?
I have, man. I lose a coin toss every year, it seems like. Because I'm not one of those guys who always go one thing. I'm always like, I just gut feeling. So, no, I've never fucking won the coin toss.
I feel like tails win so much more than heads.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I don't know if there's any truth to it, but I just feel like it's always tails.
Yeah, see, dude, I'm a heads guy. Like if I'll pick one or two, I'm a heads guy. Like I always, heads up. So it's just, but yeah, I'm not the guy to be asking because I fucking suck at heads or tails. So that's I'll still bet on it. So like I like doing silly prop bets for a couple bucks here and there, and that way as you're watching the game, it doesn't really have a it's kind of a fun bet. You really don't like, I need this dude to get 4 catches. It's just literally the most bullshit heads or tails.
All right.
Bro, that's why I love the fucking Super Bowl, bro. I'm fucking glad. Like, bro, we're here. We're fucking here. The way we made it this year, dude, this might be, man, it's hard to match that first Super Bowl. But the way that we did it this year, how we're fucking turning into how everybody hates us. Right. That's the part I love the most, dude. I fucking love how people are sick and tired of the Chiefs, man. Who would have fucking thought that we would have been that team to where you're like the Patriots? Like, right. I've always appreciated Tom Brady because I'm one of those guys where I don't want to see the Cinderella stories winning. I want to see fucking greatness. I want to see the best of the best every single year. And I want those that, to up the bar. So I never had like that Patriots fatigue. Only when they beat the fucking Chiefs in the playoffs, it would hurt. But the fact that we're that team now, and it's only going to get worse if we win the Super Bowl.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I can't wait.
Because, like, right now, what pundits or either other fan bases can say is, like, you have an argument to not call the Chiefs a dynasty, right? Like, you have an argument. You have an argument. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's some arguments like, you got to have the championships. And there's some validity to it. I think with what we did, we can be considered a dynasty. But if we win this game, that conversation's not even feasible to have anymore, because at that point it's like, yeah, they're an absolute fucking dynasty. Super Bowl in 4 out of 5 years, championship in 3 out of 5, absolutely dynasty.
Yeah, but the thing is now they're saying that it's still, even if we do win, it still could be questioned because it wasn't all within like the 2020s. You know what I'm saying? We won in 2018 or whatever it was, That's like one of the arguments I already seen. And I'm like, are you kidding me? It's still within a 10-year period. I don't care.
I was about to say
2020 to 2030.
Like, honestly, bro. So if you think about like the dynasties, Patriots, obviously. I don't know if we'll ever see that again. They essentially have 2 dynasties in 2 different decades. You know what I mean?
Right.
And if you think about it, most dynasties are a 5-year stretch, 5-6 year stretch. And then there's like, they let other people play in. So you go to Patriots, Cowboys. That was early 90s to mid 90s. Because after fucking they won their last Super Bowl in 95, they all got too old and it kind of just slowed down after that. To where, the 95, 96 would have been the last year. So a lot of these times are just, the 4 or 5 year span, they just happened to win some. So no matter like the timing, but you are right. A lot of I guess I think some of like the point that they make, if you think about it, a lot of these dynasties, there's not that overlapping between 1977 and 82. You know what I mean?
Right.
But that's a stupid fucking conversation because it's still within a 5-year gap. On top of that, we won the Super Bowl in 2020. It was a 2019 season. Fucking Chiefs win, and then the world fucking ends. So, talk about the start of a dynasty, baby.
Right. Haters are going to hate, and that's why we appreciate, because we finally got it going in our favor.
Yeah. Nah, man, like who would have thought, like, you know, the Chiefs, man, just as a Chiefs fan, we've been waiting on this like our whole life, and we didn't think it would happen. We was just like, let's get to the AFC Championship game. Well, fuck, before that, we was like, can we win a goddamn playoff game?
Right.
I've never seen a fucking playoff game as like an adult football fan. Like I was like 5 or 6 when we beat the Steelers to play Buffalo, or was it Houston? No, it was both of them. But it's like we waited so long for this, dude, and to see where this particular brand of the Chiefs have went between, we were just like, kind of a cool team. We'll fucking pop in and out of the playoffs, good offense, good defense, but never a full team. Now the fact that we got the best quarterback in the world, who's like one of the most polarizing athletes, the success that we're having, our tight end has the #1 fucking podcast in the world and happens to be dating the fucking most famous person in this world, arguably. And the fact that it's all happening in Kansas City, like the light that Kansas City has got shined on them over these past 6 years, even 6 years ago, if you're like, yeah, you guys are going to win the Super Bowls. If you had told me all this other shit came with it, I'm like, no fucking way. No fucking way, bro. Like Kansas City, we're here. Like we're big time now.
We're them. We're the dogs.
Nah, that's it. Bro, and another thing of the dogs. Why the fuck are the Chiefs the underdogs? I still don't get it. I still don't get it. Like, why are we the underdogs? And I don't know if it's for the fact that, like, they're looking over through a whole fucking season thing. So we're like, oh, they've been inconsistent. Yeah, we haven't been what I don't even think we haven't had the brand of football that I think people are used to when it comes to having Patrick Mahomes on offense. But if we're talking consistency over the last month, way more consistent than the Niners. Way more consistent.
Did you see Drake better?
And I know I didn't. What's the line at today? 2? Still at 2?
I think.
So it's 1.5. So it's been bouncing between 1, 1.5, and 2. I think I've seen it as high as, I think it came out as 2.5. But I know on DraftKings, 80% of the money is on the Chiefs, so I don't know how that makes me feel. 80% of the money line is on the Chiefs.
Yeah, did you see Drake bet $1 million on the Chiefs?
Yeah, and he says, I can't go against the Swifties.
Is that what he said?
I seen something that said that. I don't know how true it is. I read it on Facebook this morning. So what the validity of that is, I don't know. I'm riding with Drake today, too, then if he's riding with us.
Hey, so what do you think about McKinnon? You see that we brought him back off IR yesterday?
Yeah, but let's not fuck with the fluidity of things.
I agree.
Like, because the thing is with these guys, Sky Moore, McKinnon, Tony. I know they already said Tony's out. Who are you taking away to bring them back in?
But that's the thing, though. Like, we're not really deep when it comes to running backs. So if you tell me that one of our running backs is going to get hurt and we're going to we can choose to have McKinnon there for a backup or not, I'd still say definitely put him on the squad.
No, okay, this is where I agree with you, because Perrine's been fucking suiting up, you know what I mean? But he hasn't been playing. I think it's one of those deals. If we bring McKinnon back, we need him to play that role just in case of emergency. We'll use that. I think with Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Pacheco, there's been this like groove that those two have been in. It's like they both know their role, you know, especially with Clyde. It's like we didn't know what the fuck Clyde's role was at the start of the season. and we've been good. Clyde's been solid, dude. He's been I wouldn't say great. He's been very solid as a number 2 punch to Pacheco. And I would hate, I'm cool with McKinnon getting in. Like, I don't want him to steal reps when we've been so fluid lately on our running game.
I agree 100%. But at the same time, though, if like, say Pacheco still got this turf toe thing going on, like, if he's not doing as good as, he usually does, and you try Clyde and Clyde's not getting anywhere either, why not use McKinnon as an option?
No, I agree. No, that comes back to the in case of emergency. What I don't want to do is start out the game using fucking 3 running backs. That's the shit that bugs the shit out of me with Andy. I love him to death. But sometimes we run this 3 running back system, and it never allows the availability for one of these running backs to get off. That didn't really start happening. Think about it last year with Pacheco's. Once everybody got hurt, he got his opportunities. Boom, you can be our bell cow because we don't have nobody. And then this year, it took, McKinnon to get hurt to where it's like, all right, now we got a 2-man rotation, but 80% of the carries, 90% of the carries go to Pacheco, as they should.
Right.
No, and that's where you have to give Pacheco. That's where you have to give Pacheco props, bro. He's in these 3rd down situation because Andy isn't afraid to have him out there as a pass blocker.
Yeah, no, that's one thing that I think he's improved on tremendously. Like last year, I would say if you're going to have Pat throwing the ball, I'd rather have McKinnon back there blocking. This year,
for sure,
Pacheco's just like anytime he has to block, he blocks like he runs. He's just angry, like he hates every single person that's trying to attack his quarterback, and I absolutely love it.
Yeah, no, dude, and that comes like to the beauty, man. Like, when an NFL team is built, like there's so much shit that goes into it of how having one player can affect another player. Having a guy like McKinnon will absolutely stand in there and put his head right into that dude's fucking chest. When a rookie like Pacheco last year sees that and he's like, oh, okay, don't, let me do that. And you're starting to see that more of Pacheco to where maybe not the blow up shots. I've seen McKinnon just blow people up, but he has to build for it to be able to stand it. And that's what also has had the availability to turn him into a 3-down back. And we haven't had that really since Kareem, bro. Kareem Hunt was a 3rd down back because he would pick up the fucking block. So I'm excited.
Yeah, bro.
I'm excited.
Bro, I'm telling you this right now, though. This is going to be the chess match of the century, bro. Yeah. Like, I don't think you could have a better matchup when it comes to coaching teams, running backs. I mean, just all the way down the list, bro. This is going to be the greatest chess match ever, I feel like. Like Shanahan against Reed, bro. These game plans are going to be out of this world.
Well, the thing is that's crazy is like the matchups, like their defense is solid. Like I think all 3 phases of both teams very good. Like Niners are solid all the way around. There's holes on both sides of I don't know. Would you say there's holes on the Chiefs defense? I would know that. I know that we're giving up. So hold on. I know that we're giving up like 4 yards per carry, but like situationally, I feel like we're good at stopping the run. It's just I think that those numbers get blown up because like there will be a 20, 30-yard run to where we're going all out and that guy's able to sneak back and there's only one safety left back there to kind of stop the play. So like we take our chances and there's a possibility that they might make a big play, but I think we're better against the run than kind of people give us credit for, or even that the numbers give us credit for.
That's definitely the one thing that scares me. Is them running the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like between Snead, McDuffie, and hell, Edwards, like literally our whole secondary, I feel really good about.
Yeah.
But us against the run, if a Minihue was playing, I probably feel a lot better about it. But without a Minihue, like they know their weakness is the right side of their line as well. So they're going to be running behind Trent constantly.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing that I think we got to worry about. And that's why I think we got to, put have someone almost over there just kind of not spying on Trent, but sticking with Trent, whether they're blitzing on Trent or not, just because they're going to try to cram it down our throats behind Trent.
Yeah, on that left side is definitely definitely like kind of their go-to. And Trent, that's the thing with Trent Williams too, though, is they will bust it to the right side because they will pull him. So it's one of those things that as the defense, you have to pay attention because even though that right side of their line is weaker, they will pull fucking Trent that way for a misdirection or kind of whatever play that that they want to run to that right side. Because they're not just going to keep banging it to the left. So it's dude, and then it goes back to kind of what you said. Schematically, it's one of the most interesting Super Bowls that you've seen. Just kind of because I think honestly, like coaching, it's always big. But just their approach is what's going to set this game for either team. Like whoever chooses the right approach that they've had time to study on for these last 2 weeks, I think that's going to be such a big ordeal.
You think the quarterbacks are going to be running the ball a lot?
No. So like, what's the line? Like that's all. Like I could see.
You think they'll cover their line?
What's their line? I don't know what the line is. I know Pat's is
Purdy's
like 20.
Is 12.5 and Pat's is like 26.
I would go under on Pat and over on Purdy.
Really?
So
I and one of the bets I did, I took Pat over 40 yards rushing.
I mean, hey, dude, hold on. As I said that out loud, Pat there's always these big time games where Pat gets a 20, 25 yard fucking scamper.
Bro, he's a running machine in the playoffs.
No, yeah. That's kind of after I said that. It's just maybe, man. Yeah, maybe. I could see it. Because all it takes is like that, them open up the middle and he'll go right up against the line of scrimmage and then let's say, fuck it. All right, I'm gone. So I could see it, man. I could see it. But if the line was like 19.5, 18, I would feel more comfortable. But I can see Pat having 3 carries for 22 yards, you know what I mean? And one of them was a 18-yard one, you know what I mean?
He's running it at least 5 times.
I think I think and this is where like I have a theory on like previous success that sometimes it can be bad. Is because like Purdy's been able to kind of get out of the pocket, scramble, and kind of make these big fucking plays. Let's be honest, he's not really that guy. So having success in life, you tend to be like, oh, I can do this. Let me repeat that. But all circumstances are fucking different to where I think that maybe he gets a little too confident, like, oh, I can fucking get out of here and make this scramble. So if he's willing to do that, I'm here for it. I hope if Purdy hits his fucking over, I'm fucking Chiefs have won.
Yeah. I think for sure that Pat is going to have one of them Tennessee Titans runs, like where he just okey dokes the fuck out of somebody, bro.
I fucking hope so. We was there for that one. That was beautiful.
Yeah.
That was beautiful. We was there for that one. Yeah. It's one of those things. Like, literally, I said I would take Pat with the under. It's more so like on the number itself and kind of seeing kind of how Pat operates. But, dude, he's killer at getting 10, 15, 20-yard scampers. Like, and that's exactly what I call his fucking running. It's scampering because, like, he looks slow. But somehow these guys take fucking horrible angles on him, and I just don't get it. I don't get it.
Bro, it's
I don't
like
know because they don't want to hit him.
It's like he's just got that Mike Vick mentality when he runs the ball. Like he could just diagnose every angle and what he has to do, how fast he has to run to beat this person. Bro, it's crazy. It's
Yeah,
literally him running is like him playing a fucking video game. It's just out of this world.
Yeah, like it doesn't make sense. It's like somehow all the other players slow down. And he doesn't he's not fast at all. He's not fast at all, but it's like I don't know how he got an extra 8 yards out of that.
Yeah, no, for sure. And bro, as bad as like the 49ers, they do a lot of standing around assuming that someone else is gonna get the tackle. They try that shit on Pat, bro. He's gonna exploit the shit out of it.
I think what all these teams are going to start to do, which like the Ravens did last week, and which is smart. I would do the same fucking thing. Like, bro, if you're not going to get out, I'm gonna take you the fuck out. Like, you know what I mean? Or if you're not getting down, I'm gonna take you the like. If I gotta take a late hit penalty early in the game, I'll fucking do it. Like the fact that I think that the Niners probably might have the same approach to where we'll see though, because the fucking get Detroit. Fucking Chase Young and Joey Bosa. Joey Bosa, right? Which one? Which Bosa? Nick Bosa. Nick Bosa, yeah. Definitely on a couple plays last game versus the Lions, bro. They didn't even try. They had angles to go at, and they just let it. All right, bro, go score a fucking touchdown.
No, so at
that point, you kind of run towards those guys then, right?
Yeah.
Like, because it's been kind of the thing with Bosa, is he's down to rush the quarterback. He's down to pin his fucking ears back. But as far as being that dog when it comes to the run game, it's not that guy. Or he hasn't shown it. And then, like, Chase Young, there's a reason why Chase Young's willing to be traded. Like, if you think about it, he's kind of underwhelmed his career, being the number 2 pick overall. He was a great addition to the 49ers, but there's a reason also, too, that he's available mid-season. Because if he was the top-tier player like he was anticipated being on, even when he got, like, he's not going to flip his switch up. He played better with the Niners. He wasn't bad with the Washington. But there's a reason he's available mid-season.
He just hasn't been the same since we've had 5 injuries, it seems like. Like he's been hurt almost every year, it seems
this is 4th year, right? 3rd year, 4th year? It's got to be at least his 4th year. He's with I know he's still on his rookie contract. He has to still be on his rookie contract. So it's definitely one of those things, man. And I think what you'll see a lot out of the Chiefs too, which I know probably people won't like, is those quick fucking throws to the receivers, because the Niners aren't the best sideline to sideline. You know what I mean? If they can go downhill, cool. But if you can kind of stretch them out, you'll be all right. Especially if you're on the other side of Ward.
Right. Tarvarius Ward tell his shit. Did you see that in his Super Bowl game interview or whatever?
I seen a quote just where he's like talking about he likes it better. Niners are better. He likes it better here, or it's different, or some shit like that.
Yeah, something along the lines. Yeah.
I mean, but what he's supposed to say though?
Man, I wish I remember the question, because it wasn't like he had to pick a side.
Right.
It was like, yeah, I don't remember.
I know what you mean. Like, I seen the question posed too. It's just kind of like, what's the difference is, or some shit like that. And he was like, "Oh, the Niners are better. Like, it's a better organization over here."
Shit on us, yeah.
Yeah, he was like, everything's better. And like, I kind of, it might be one of those things too. Like, you're about to go up against this team. You know how it is when you're competitive. You fucking kind of work these things up in your mind, and it's a tough spot for them to be in when they have all these cameras in their face during Super Bowl media. It's just he's not as fucking acclimated to talking to the media. It's just kind of how I took that as. But what it does, it gives Chiefs fans, something to talk shit about. So
yeah, but the thing is like, you would think that these guys would learn by now that the one team you don't want to talk shit on and fire up is the Chiefs. Like, we take that shit and we use it to push ourselves.
We're so fucking petty. I love it. Like literally every fucking thing you can say, anything that you can say, we're going to be petty about it. And I'm like, I am with that shit because I'm that fucking person. If I can find something to be petty about to get me worked up and give me, a competitive advantage in my own head, I'm fucking here for it. So I love that. Especially Pat is king petty, bro. Since he came into the league, he's been petty as shit. When we played the fucking Chicago Bears that one year and he's counting up to 10, bro, I fucking love that. Like, I just tells you the type of competitors that we have on this team. Well, especially Pat. I think it starts with Pat. And then I think Kelsey sets the tone. Chris Jones, you've had Snead step up and be kind of that not quiet vocal leader, but that quiet on-field leader, like kind of show you what to do. Bro, I'm fucking excited.
I think that's why this Super Bowl victory would just be so much more than any other one we've had so far. Is just because, all the doubt, all the shit talking on the receivers and the offense and how underdogs every game, even in the Super Bowl, like how many points do we have to prove that we're not the underdogs? We're here to take it all. And we're still underdogs, and people keep doubting. And we're just here to prove that everybody is just constantly wrong, and you can't ever bet against Pat Mahomes and Andy Reid.
Well, dude, that's the thing, too. It's like, how long before we're just like, and I think the underdog thing is just through fatigue. People just want the other team to win so bad. They want the other team to win so bad. And now that this year the team has flaws, and like, we do for sure. Like we do. But like last year's a rebuilding year. This year's a down year.
Right.
We possibly have and within those 2 years, that's when we have the possibility to win the back-to-back championships. It's fucking crazy. Fucking crazy. It's also too, it's just we're not like football's hard, people. You can't just go out here and be like, oh, we're going to blow out this team 30 to whatever. We still had a good season. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like we still had like it's just that we as fans are also skewed that like what we forget to do sometimes is fucking enjoy the process, watch the process. Sometimes you're going to have failures because in the long run, that's going to end up what's helping you out. Because dude, we've had so many conversations where we're like, oh, wide receivers they're gonna be the one that ends up fucking us in the playoffs just because, for me at some point I had to join the conversation. I was like, bro, these drops are going to clean up. These drops are going to clean up. And they really never did until we hit the playoffs. Like,
well, you got to think too, though. We were still trying to find like our receivers. Like Sky Moore was playing 50% of the time, and Tony was playing 25%. We never really had our offensive weapons dialed in until now, really. And now ever since we did, our offense has done what it needs to. Our defense keeps on trucking, and we're just keep winning games.
Yeah, no, dude, if you think about it, we were still trying to figure out roles of these motherfuckers. We had 7 wide receivers on our roster. That's fucking crazy, bro. Like, that just doesn't happen. Like, that don't happen. You don't have 7 wide receivers. And then we're all active. So, I almost, it was like we needed to have an addition by subtraction because we were trying to get everybody game time in because, like, we didn't fucking know. And it just took some time. And as you're going through that process, sometimes it's tough to be like, all right, I see what's happening because, you're fans of the particular team. So, and you're like, oh, this is what's happening. It's an emotional response. So like, I get it. But yeah, here we are. Here we are.
I think it's definitely it's gonna be interesting. I'm curious to see all these prop bets. I mean, they got prop bets on the damn halftime show. Like, what's Usher's first song gonna be? What do you think? You got any ideas?
I'm fucking Shit, My Way. I don't know. I don't know. That's like the only song that I probably know. I know Usher songs, which be like, oh yeah, this one. I have no fucking idea. I'm not a halftime show guy.
I feel like yeah would just be the right way to.
You know what? Just kind of set it off. I agree. I don't know, bro. Hold on. I know they usually have like the over unders on like how long the national anthem's gonna go.
Really?
Yeah. So I'm trying to see where I can find that one. Dolly Parton is doing the national anthem, so I'm going over no matter what it is, if I can fucking find it.
Have you heard of an octopus?
Like an octopus that picks the game or whatever.
It says like any player to record an octopus. It's the player to score a touchdown and the 2-point conversion on the same drive.
I've never heard it called that.
Me either, but it's a prop.
I've never heard it called. I get it because at the 8. No, I get it. Okay.
Your opening kickoff to be a touchback, yes, is minus 330.
To be a kickback, or yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's usually Super Bowl specials. All right, here we go. Dude, they got some of the craziest shit on these fucking props. Jersey number of first touchdown scorer, over 22.5, under 22.5 is kind of the line. So it just is, but it's also what makes gambling so fun. I mean, just goofy shit to root for, just to kind of enjoy the game. Yeah, we're definitely trying to be a millionaire by the end of the day, but don't fucking anticipate it.
Well, if you're trying to be a millionaire, then the prop I think that you want to bet on is no touchdown to be scored in the game.
Yeah, I don't like that one. Like I still want to.
Plus 33,000.
Yeah. A DraftKings has a DraftKings special. I don't know why anybody would bet this. Patrick Mahomes to complete one completion for minus 20,000. Why even have that up?
Someone did bet on that. It was funny. They put it on Twitter. They was like, I got the Super Bowl lock of a century. Da, 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 da. And they bet like, oh God, what was it? It was like $300, and all they was going to win was $300.50.
Dude, so if you bet $20, you'll win 10 cents.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely a lock. The fact that it's even up there is crazy. Like,
so what's 10 completions pay then if you can get 10 cents off of one?
Right. Oh, that's a great. Hold on, let me see here. Passing props. Over under on fucking completions for Patrick Mahomes is 25.5. Yep. 25.5.
Well, if he hits that, we're either not running the ball enough or we made some big plays.
Yeah, I don't really want to hit him. Like, the thing is 25.5, dude. That's right. I mean, it's crazy how good fucking Vegas is, right? Because it's going to be within there. It's usually within, might hit the over, but if it's at 25.5, he's thrown 28, 29 times. If it's under, 23, 24. You know what I mean?
Right. No, so they are really good at what they do. I bet the under on a NBA game a couple days ago, and it was at 247, and they literally scored 248 fucking points.
That's what I'm saying, dude. They're so fucking good at hitting these fucking marks, man. Like, yeah, I don't know. But all right, man. Let's go ahead and start to like wrap this up. Let me get your predictions. Let's go with let's go with who you think's going to win and what the score is going to be.
Well, I'm not going to go with the same score that I predicted on FanDuel because that was 27-14. I had us win by 13 points. But I think it's going to be more of a 24, 21, 23, like a very close game. 24, 23. Let's go with that. 47 points. They're good at their over-unders. Let's put it right at where they put it.
I'm going to go 23-13. So I think the Chiefs win by 10. So
cool.
So, but like that's why I think the Chiefs win by 10. I think we're a lot more suffocating than a lot of these teams understand, especially on defense. We will suffocate the shit out you. Offense, we still have that. Like, dude, we still have playmakers that can blow this fucking game open. All right, who is your Super Bowl MVP?
It's got to be Mahomes. I just don't see how it goes any other way. I really don't.
I agree. I also think I think it can be Mahomes, but I think there can be a little bit of Mahomes Super Bowl MVP fatigue. And if Pacheco has a couple touchdowns rushing, and even though maybe Mahomes is the one that kind of got him down into that zone, I think I could see Pacheco doing it. But I will take Mahomes as the Super Bowl MVP because I'm not betting against that fucking guy. You're out of your mind.
Nah. The only way he don't get it is if we don't win and McCaffrey gets it, I think.
Yeah. No, that's it. And then there's a small outside chance for defense, man. Small outside chance for defensive player. But that defensive player is going to need multiple turnovers that they caused and a possible down at the same time. You know what I mean? Like it's going to have to something goofy like that for any player to have an opportunity.
Like Nick Bolton last year.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
that was last year. Yep, where he scored that touchdown.
Yeah.
All right, man. Game day is here, baby. We got we got 3 hours left. Appreciate everybody who hopped in with us and checked you out. Till next time, I'm Adam Fricks. This is Justin Olson. Let's go, Chiefs.